Yo, what is up, you guys? My name is Entreprenuership. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, like the video, comment, share, do all of that good stuff that other YouTubers tell you guys to do. This is episode number 16, and I am here with a very, very, very special guest in the building, or in the like I was telling you now. This is so awkward. But Sige, without further ado, please welcome the ever so beautiful, the ever so lovely and lively Apellela Banger.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks. Good.
It's been a while. We haven't chatted since 2022. Late
Yeah,
2022.
like last year, yeah.
Yeah, we actually met up, before that it was 2019, because that's when we finished school
Yeah.
together. And then last year we met up in the most awkward of places, I guess. No, I swear. Wait, did we meet up just before or after?
No, it was before I went in when you were done with your
Yeah.
appointments.
So I went for a massage. And if you haven't done that, please do. Shout out to Georgia for the appointments and for the goodies. So we met up last year, and then I decided, you know what, let's have a podcast episode together. It's been a while. It's good to catch up, good to make conversation. So let's start off. How has life been since high school?
Since high school.
Wait, before we even start, I'm rushing. How did we meet? Do you remember our first encounter together?
I don't know if it was primary school or grade 8.
Grade 8.
It was grade 8.
Yeah.
High school. Skapa High.
Yeah.
I do not remember first encounter, but I know we were in Miss Kumalo's class together.
Oh, my word. You rich. What? Dang.
Yeah, because I remember quite a bit of people in our class. I don't remember first encounter though. I just know that we were in the same reg class. Yeah.
Because I remember when I first came in, that was such an awkward moment for me, because I figured I'm in a sim too, and everyone had like their own friend groups and stuff like that, so I had to like really adjust. But I feel as if like that was the first encounter and we are just saying hi and stuff in class, and then after that we grew a relationship of like being there but not like being there, So yeah, I know it was cool. High school was very cool, whatever. Then we moved on to post. So how's life been since high school?
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. It's not fun going into varsity and then COVID hits. It's your first year. You don't know anything. And in my industry, it's so hands-on. You have to be there every day, doing practicals every single day. So now you have COVID for months on end. We're trying to establish a new way of teaching us online, but my industry needs you to be physically there. So it was hard, but now I feel like I'm just getting used to living, because it's been busy, it's been hectic, a lot has happened.
But in terms of COVID, like, how did you guys adjust? Because I know I did IT at school, so it was more so like really computer work and you're at home.
Yeah.
For you guys, did you actually have to wear masks and go on campus?
For us, no. For me, when COVID hit, I had actually gone to in service, my very first in service.
First year.
Very first, and it was within about 2 months. School and then in service. So day 2, Uramaposa closes the country. So it was like, I'm not getting my experience. Now I have to move back home.
Dang. Shattered.
I had to move back home.
Shattered.
and because honestly, you have to be at school cooking every single day. They tried. We did a lot more theory instead of, cooking. And then they would give us like a little bit of things here and there to cook. But afterwards, like a month, there was nothing.
Dang.
That means in Gemini I was on holiday.
So you're just chilling. Yo, no like computer work or anything
there
like that?
There was rarely things to do. All we had to do was continue with our books. Study guides, basically. You had a study guide, you had a workbook, you would write what you did and whatever. But because vele siyaqala, you have one book. If I finish that book, I'm done. I'm sitting.
You must be driving yourself insane during that time.
I was at home.
But even before that, in high school, Because I remember that's another thing that I've always brought up on the podcast and stuff. We're so conditioned to always like think ahead of our time, right? So grade 10, grade 11, whatever. What made you choose like the culinary industry? Because that's where you're at right now, right? Like that's your field. Like what made you choose that over anything else?
Well, I've always wanted to cook. I've always been interested in cooking as a hobby since grade 4. My grand taught me how to cook my first porridge. My dad taught me how to cook uputu. Then we would cook porridge in the morning. And then my sister was the one that actually taught me. But I would always watch the food channel every day.
175.
Yes, 175 to the point where my dad even knew Guy Thierry, Jamie Banbani.
If you don't know that guy.
So Nje, I've always liked the cooking idea, and at home they encourage you to do things. So if you want to bake, dad would buy the ingredients. If you want to cook something, dad would get the stuff. So I've started then obviously in grade 10 I took consumer studies. But consumer studies and what we're doing.
I used to love the consumer studies kids because I remember
get food.
we used to get free food. If you had the plugs, then you knew. Would say I won a 1, 2, and 3. Like those are my friends, and I'm gonna get food. So you've always been into cooking and stuff like that.
I've always been into cooking. Mina. I've never literally known anything but that, and it's very difficult, especially having an older sister who is seen as smarter than you, taking physics and maths, and she's doing forensic science. Why aren't you on that path? Why aren't you taking maths and physics, both of your siblings? So it was very difficult having to be the only one that stands out
differently.
Yes, it was very.
Wait, your brother did physics? I didn't know that.
He took maths and physics because he wanted to do food technology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but now he ended up in IT. So me being the cook, what are you doing? Especially
in SA, in terms of the landscape in SA, it's not really conceived, I guess, as being viable, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they always say, what's your passion, and so how did you get over that hurdle? Like, yes, cut some cousin, it's okay, I'm going to uni now and I need to do this thing. How did you explain to like to people?
My dad has always known, so it wasn't him the issue. The issue was my aunts, who are the nurse. I did physics, I did maths, I did biology, I did all of these hard subjects. Yes, for my career to be a nurse or a doctor, because back in the day, being a teacher and a nurse was the in thing.
What was it?
Because I'm not the only one in the family who is in this industry, I really got one of my cousins to come in and be like convincing. Because he went to international hotel school. After that, he went straight to Miami. So when he came back, please come and explain. Because I've been trying to explain.
You can't. I mean, it's like
they're not listening.
They're not listen to someone like that's older, I guess.
So I would know it's a good industry, because just because we don't know. Like what we know is South Africa, there's so much out there, and honestly, out there, the hospitality culinary industry is a big thing. Overseas, people like eating. People love eating
good food at that. It's good food at that.
Unfortunately, in South Africa, we are not as serious, because a lot of the things that we have around us are takeaways.
Exactly. I mean, like someone. I think Utando, when she was on the platform, she was saying we should experiment more, go to restaurants a bit more. I mean, if you ask me how many restaurants I've been to, I can literally count them like on one hand. Like,
that's sad.
Yeah, I know. I know, it's pathetic. It's pathetic.
That's sad.
So you end up convincing your parents, right, and your people and your family, and now first day COVID again, man. Well, second day COVID.
Yeah, second day of in service. I had already started at school for like about a month or two. Now it's time for in service. I went to RCL.
Where's that?
In Westville Lapa. As you go down Pavilion, there's a lot of companies. It's like a huge boom gate in Jane. It's companies. Yeah. So then it was RCL, and then we used to also cater for Unilever.
Oh.
So in Jane, both buildings, we used to cater for over 300, 500 people a
day. A day.
Yes.
I'm sure you're tired.
It was a canteen style. So in Jane, the offices, there was a lot of people doing a lot of different things. And I was getting used to it, because obviously the first day you don't know what's going on. They give you the boring jobs of grating cheese, cooking pasta, you know, just that. So when the second day came and I actually got to know the chef who was in charge, then now we can't go back the next day. How as I'm learning the streams of everything, and I'm allowed to actually go out and see people and greet people and dish up for them because it's canteen. You know, they pick what they want. You have a paella, they go and they pay for it. My chef was also getting me more involved into cooking. So I was getting involved in saying I can't now because second day I get back home, we're all waiting for Ramaphosa's speech.
I remember everyone was so anxious. It was like
we were all waiting.
I was like, oh no, as in Lento's gonna be full. But 21 days, right?
That's how it started.
Yeah, it was like 21 days. I was like, also like 21 days, it's fine.
That's fine.
Days,
we can
rest.
You can rest and you can catch up in Jake.
And then things happen. 21 days turn into like 2 years.
Literally.
So what have you been doing like in the past 2 years in terms of career-wise and stuff like that?
Well, after lockdown happened, I went back to school. 2020, I think it was August when lockdown, like we were allowed to go, but you had to wear masks and everything. I went back to school for about 2 weeks, and then I went to Circus for 5 months.
You worked at Circus? That's like my only favorite restaurant right there.
I worked at Circus in Moscow for 5 months because now I'm replacing the 2 months when I was supposed to work at RCL, plus now the 3 months that's required. Went to Circus. I went back to my aunt's house in Bonela because I had moved back home. Now I went back to Durban and I was working in Musgrave. It was really nice. It was really nice.
You were enjoying your freedom away from home.
It was really nice. And just being able to get out again and trying to get back into the norm. It was nice. And being where I was with the type of people that I was with, they are very nice because I was the only kid amongst abantu abadala in my group because we used to work 2 days on, 2 days off. So it was you established okay, I'm their baby. I used to get fed a lot.
That's the one thing that I actually wanted, like in terms of like if you join your industry, it's like this free food, right? That's the assumption.
That's assumption.
Assumptions.
I'm glad you said that's the assumption with it's free food. It's not given to you. You're not allowed to be just eating anything and everything that's in the kitchen.
Oh guys, shattered hopes.
You do it basically. Yes, they know you're gonna take it, but you can't just be out there boom making whatever you want. You can't. You're not allowed to because at the end of the day it is a business. They need to make money, and the food that you are just taking and eating could be could have been someone's meal. So I used to eat a lot, Shame. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to
so
eat
did you gain a lot of weight
did
back then?
A little bit.
Because we weren't really exercising literally just from home to work and stuff like that.
I did gain a little bit, but then again I think I was just blessed with a fast metabolism.
Yeah.
So it didn't do much, but I used to eat my breakfast there. You'd find me making my egg and bacon and Evo.
I saw you yesterday posting that.
So
by the way,
yes.
I hate Evo.
Why?
I don't know. I swear I'm the only person who does. I don't know if my sister doesn't, but Abazali, they love Evo. And I'm like, what's the obsession?
It's so good.
It's
actually really funny because my brother's like, I don't understand why you're eating something that's butter consistency.
Exactly.
It doesn't have a flavor, it doesn't have a taste. And for me, it's like Evo is a base for anything. Like you can literally put it in anything and it's just gonna elevate it. It's really, really nice.
Hey guys, so famous. But at the moment,
it's really nice.
So in terms of like now you're working at Circus 5 months, right? And there's developments and growth. And what do you focus on, Lab, in terms of like, there's different aspects of the kitchen which many people don't know. And it would be nice for you to shed some light to Wuti. Because I know, guys, they all do similar work in terms of being chef. So, like, what are the different components that you learn?
First and foremost, I think we need to also understand what is hospitality as a whole. Hospitality on its own has a lot of different aspects. Hospitality also includes the receptionist. It includes the bartender. It includes your housekeeping. It includes your kitchen staff. So for me, saying that I'm in hospitality, culinary means that I do focus on cooking more than I do going into hotels, cleaning the rooms, being in the reception area and everything. But in the kitchen, there's also a lot. You get your pastry chef, your sous chef, your chef de partie, there's a lot of different aspects to it. And when I was in circus, I played that much on the different like chefs. You just had your own section basically. So there was the salad and toast section, the frying area, the pasta section, the grill section, and then preparations at the back. So because I'm a student and I'm there to learn, I was everywhere.
Just bouncing all over the place.
They could call me. Anyone could call me. So you would find when I would come in to shift, I would focus more on preparation at the back. Because that means I'm prepping for literally everything for the day.
The whole menu.
Not necessarily the whole menu, but you know what people want in the morning and what is the most ordered thing. So you would prep your hollandaise sauce, because you can't make a hollandaise sauce when the order comes in. It needs to be prepped prior.
You must tell us what these things are.
It's like a cheese sauce, but the other one. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, but that's in a
so you would do all of those things that you can do in bulk. When they ama sauce for your pastas, you would obviously chop all vegetables. You would prep all of the sauces, prep vegetables, cut vegetables, put them in the ovens. If they need to be in the oven, you blanch them, you cook. So that's what I would focus on. The chicken, you have to portion your chicken, and then once you get your portion, the other pieces you need to turn into strips.
Dang, so everything is utilized in the kitchen.
Every single thing, because even with steak, you're just prepping for breakfast and dinner. Yes, we were open for breakfast, but I would obviously be preparation. And then when breakfast kicked, I would always be in the salad section. Because that's when people order sandwiches and they want wraps and whatever. And then lunchtime, I'm always in the grill. I'm like I'm everywhere.
You're just in Tantering. So how are the shift like structured in terms of like, I won't say like in the whole hospitality culinary industry, like how are they structured? Is it long hours or is it like span like 6 hours?
Thing is with me being in different, like I've been to so many different places whereby one is a restaurant, one is a hotel, one is a 5-star hotel, one is a cafe. Hours differ. So at Circus, it used to be from 8 to 3.
8 to 3. That's reasonable though.
Very reasonable.
Yeah,
then I went to a hotel and put it for 6 months, and it was 6 to 2 or 2 to 10.
2 to 10.
But because like I was good. Like I'm not gonna lie and be like, I was lazy. I was never lazy. Like I always used to put out my best. So they would rely on you more. So look, you're supposed to come out at 2. Getting was 6. They will probably make you come out at 5 when the function's done.
And you'd say yes.
What am I gonna say?
Damn. Yeah, bro.
They're telling you to stay for longer hours. There's a function that needs to happen, and with these functions, you know how black people are.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Yes.
So you know how black people are. They don't start on time and they don't end on time. But my duty is to go dish up for them. I can't leave until that duty is done. So if that means I've been there from 6 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, there's nothing I can do about it.
Dang, because I know I'm organized. So I'm definitely a part of that list. So you get to like, it's put it when you get there and you're working nan. So this is your number about 2020
No, this was my last work area because so RCL was my first, Circus was my second for 5 months. Then I went to a bakery in Florida for 3 months. But then after the 3 months, I was like on and off. I'll just keep on going there, on and off, on and off, on and off. Then after the bakery, did I go to Circus to the hotel. I'm missing 1 more month here in Toti.
What's the work, Randa? Were you here in Toti? Where?
At the Views Boutique Hotel.
Yeah, no,
I've been everywhere.
So in terms of like, you've been everywhere, right? You're learning and stuff like that. Let's say for someone new that wants to join your industry, how is it like in terms of the curriculum, so to speak? Because mind you, I see Wuti, you're more focused on the actual experience itself.
Yeah.
But in terms of the academic side, in terms of being in itself, how's it structured? Is it like 2 months of funda and then you jump into
our school? It's more self-study than it is you do lecturing at school.
Self-study?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So you would do a prac at school, you come home, you have to do schoolwork.
Dang,
and it's balanced, but it's a lot of self-study. There was rarely lecturers in class where we would sit and learn, and that's like the first 2-3 weeks of starting school. But straight after NJ, you are cooking, things are due, you have to do them. So you balance it out and then you figure it out.
I can imagine the stress NJ going through your mind, being
hard.
like, okay, I've studied, I need to go back to work the following
and you're
day.
very tired because even when you're at industry, no longer at school, even when you're at industry, you would find that you're coming out so late and you still have to do homework because once wabuya school they want it. They want.
Do they know the schedule
No,
that
they
you guys
do.
face? So
They
why are they
do.
applying so much pressure in terms of you guys like being sane, even being sane as a person? Because my degree was more academics focused.
Yeah.
If you do projects, you do projects here and
Yeah.
there. But I can understand yours, just like you work. You actually like work.
Yeah.
Work. And then in terms of the pay, right? That's where everybody's thinking is. Because even I think the audience in my Instagram is younger people. So obviously they're looking up into the big guys, I guess, and people that have finished high school. In terms of the salaries.
One thing I need to explain about the hospitality industry is that firstly, you know, it is not as easy as people think it is. Working with people is so hard.
True.
Because people are so rude. So you need to learn first and foremost in Djibouti. I'm going to be in a very difficult industry. Worst thing, being in the kitchen. Being in the kitchen, you work long hours, you're on your feet all day. You get burnt. You it's hot, it's flustered, orders are coming in. Yet,
how do you keep saying?
Yet your pay
Yo
isn't even that great.
It's not the best.
It's not that great. I think if someone obviously had to come into the industry, one thing you need to be focusing on is the passion. Or you must understand that until you get to head chef, private chef, a known chef, or if you do catering or whatever, that's when you know that you're making your own money. But if you're still in like these restaurants, the pay isn't that great.
You're still hustling
basically.
Hey,
and you need to focus on this is my passion, this is what I'm focusing on.
Is that what is keeping you like in the
For
industry? For
me, what's keeping me in the industry is because I know that in the future this is what I want to do. I don't want to work for someone. I've always really had a plan. After I finish studying, I'm going overseas or I'm going on a cruise ship. I'm making money. I'm getting experience. Because once I gain experience from a cruise ship or overseas, I can come back here and open up my own restaurant. I can be a head chef. I can determine my salary. I come up with my salary. Not I'm getting told this is how much you get paid. Because they look at all of my experience, where I've been, what I've done, and then I determine how much I want to get paid.
So let's say now if you figure to that level of like, proper chefs and like into head chefs and stuff like that, how long does it take you to get to that point?
Oh my goodness.
Is it a whole process or should you can you be like a head chef just working in one place, or do you need to be like well traveled?
You have to, not even well traveled, you have to be experienced in all aspects of the kitchen.
All of them.
Every single one. And that's where again our books come into play.
Books.
Yes, our study guides and everything. That's where everything comes into play, because you need to know also the safety behind it, the health behind it. You need to know regulations behind it, because kunga figure an inspector and they can close your kitchen, whether you head chef or not, and you've made it. They will close your kitchen. So head chef and being like a top chef, you need to know your experience, and you need to know that what you are doing is not just cooking. You are literally taking care of someone else as well, because we are serving other people. Once you mess up here, someone can get sick.
Wait, have you ever burned someone's food?
Thing is, even if you burn someone's food, it's not allowed to leave the kitchen. You start it again.
And you pay for it?
I've never been in a situation where I had to pay for it, or I've been in a situation where I've actually burned food.
You've never burned food before?
For a customer, not necessarily.
You focused. You must have figured a span.
No, it's because I think you get used to the pressure. Oh, it's okay. You have a lot of orders coming in. You distribute them out. And Circus, I feel like, is the best example of how a kitchen is supposed to be. There's sections for each and everything. So there's a salad, pasta, everything. So making any order, what you're giving salads and toast to this person. You are focusing on your own grilling thing. And then another person's focusing on pasta. But being at the hotel that I was in Port Edward, they did not have sections.
It's just one.
So kwakuzongena order, we are all running to the same order. I'm doing the same thing, you're doing the same thing. Why are we doing the same thing? It was so it's very two separate places and establishments, because even with the one Ella, the 5-star, that had sections, you know, when an order comes in this. But in one thing Port Edward Hotel taught me is that communication is very much key
within your space.
Yes, within your space, because there's been a lot of instances whereby you find 3 people making the same thing. That's the thing. You find Wuti along. No, with that hotel, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know how to explain it. You know what used to mess it up a lot is that when the order would come out, no one would read it for everybody. Umuntu wayemana yolbuka ahamba everything. So I'm also coming, I'm like, okay, I can do, let's say there's 5 burgers, I'll take care of all of the burgers. Can't deny they're doing burgers when in actual fact there's burgers, there's chicken strips, there's like
so
meals.
It delays the process even for the food to go out to the customers.
So we needed to learn from scratch. Communication is key, and eventually I would be the one running up and reading. Okay, this is the long order. This is what we have. Who's doing what? So that once we leave the kitchen and go into the walk-in fridge, you know what you're getting. You know that you are sorting out all 6 burgers. Whatever burger it is, you are on them.
When are you busy with that one?
Mina, I'm busy on the pastas. The other one's busy on grilling or frying the fish, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot. Again, going back to my goodness, how much experience you need to have to be a head chef. You need to, because if you speak to people in the kitchen, they haven't worked in one place.
Yeah,
especially the head chef.
I feel as if you guys are consistently like moving.
We're always moving.
Like moving to this gig, this gig. So doesn't that also like influence like you psychologically in terms of like in a negative way? Because manje, I guess you're moving to different environments. Say manje, you used to one menu, now you need to get used to the other different people. How has that been positive or like negative in a way? And
for me, I've had both experiences, because honestly, you know me, I used to be bubbly at school.
Sure.
I used to talk a lot.
Everyone that knows up here, bro. Everybody that knows up here.
I used to be bubbly, talk a lot, and I'm a very sensitive person. But getting into the industry and going to the different places, you learn to have a heart of steel. You learn to be affected, because it will hurt you. You find that, I've been to one at by a head chef, and say I like your panty platey. The food is bad. It gets like that, and if you take that into heart, it will impact you negatively. But if you're taking that as a learning curve and knowing that now he's frustrated, you are also frustrated. Gashisa, there's a lot going on, and you were the closest person. So I think after like 2-3 different places, I also just learned to can't take it to heart. But it is what it is.
I think I was talking to, I'm not sure who I was talking to. I think I was talking to I don't know whether I was talking to or saw it someone or with somewhere rather, and they were saying with him, the hospitality industry, it has a lot of like depression. I think all of the that posted something like this. There's a lot of like, it's people are not really aware of the mental aspects, because I guess if you go to your restaurants, you expect the best service, the best food, what are your experiences like at the back in terms of like your mental well-being?
I think one thing that I'm so grateful for is not falling into how the rest of the crowd is. And unfortunately, the truth is, in the hospitality industry, you either turn into a druggie, you gamble, you smoke, you drink, you are divorced, you are depressed, because it's firstly, there's not a lot of money. A lot of people focus, then they go into gambling. There's so much stress.
You need to make up for
all of that money.
Bills,
exactly. So then they turn into gambling, whereby now they're losing more money than. And I see it now at school. The people that I'm with, that I'm studying with, they're always gambling on Betway. My kids, I will always find them gambling, right? So then there's the gambling. Then when you are so stressed, a lot of people deal with stress in a different way. It's either they drink or smoke. At school, there's a lot of smokers. There's a lot of drinkers. Me, I'm fine, you know. But at the same time, I can't say that I'm fine because you do get so overwhelmed that I have anxiety attacks whenever, I have panic attacks whenever. Sometimes I do fall into that spiral of depression because it is so difficult. It is so hard. It's not easy. And when you do talk to a lot of people that have been in the industry for long and you ask them, like, what goes on, they are so honest with you because a lot of our industry is so demanding that you don't even spend time with your family.
You don't.
Now you're fighting with your family. You still trying to make money. They end up divorced. They end up drinking. They end up. So it is. It's a lot. It is a lot.
It's consuming.
It is a lot. And the kitchen and that's another thing that the people sitting ordering don't understand. Uguti. Ninanya fianiso otenje. And vele, that's what we're supposed to do, is maintain standard and quality either way. But you guys aren't aware that bringing back a plate, a simple thing as bringing back a plate to change it, can ruin your whole day. Because you are so tired. Firstly, you're on your feet the whole day. You think you've made a dish properly. You find that customers shouting, swearing, they want their money back. Now a manager's on your back. You have to either pay for that plate or you remake it. And
we pay with what? Because I'm a peanut.
Exactly. So, I mean, I've been in one situation, actually. I think I've been in an instance where, not that I had to pay for the plate, but I was so exhausted. I didn't even focus on whatever I was doing. I forgot to defrost the chicken. I coated it and I fried it, and
it was raw.
It was raw inside.
Oh my word!
I sent it out,
and you're like, yeah, hey,
because it was golden brown. It looked nice.
Bon appetit.
It looked good. It was golden brown. Yeah, fair customer. And you know what? The thing that irritated me with that customer specifically is that why figure why yeah. And finished it, then complained.
Customers that do that annoy me.
Yeah.
It's just like, so why are you gonna complain? Do you want your money back?
Exactly.
Or like,
because and chicken is such a high risk food. You can't just carry on eating raw food.
Exactly.
You need to let me know now, because when it came back, I could see that shit, it's raw. I served someone raw food and then they complain, but they finished the plate. What am I supposed to do now?
Dang, and you had to pay for that thing.
I didn't, because the manager was like, at the end of the day, you know, it was a mistake on my part. We had worked for days
on end, without.
And now Kona Futi, why did the customer finish it?
Exactly, I'm always asking myself.
So they still need to pay for this plate at the end of the day.
I was like, nigga, pay for that.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, in J, they still needed to pay for that plate because you decided to finish it.
Exactly.
And then complained. Exactly. Yeah. You could have just said from get-go, my food was raw, please can I get a new plate? Then that would have been understandable. It's okay, I mean, I'm in the wrong, full on. I will figure it out. But it is what it is. So it's very, very tough. You do get to points where you cry even in the kitchen for the smallest of things. You cry for the smallest of things. I get one thing about me, because it's like I get anxiety attacks and panic attacks in kitchens. You find that I would get so overwhelmed that I cut myself. You're not supposed to be cutting yourself when you're making something as simple as cutting pepper or salad, but because you get to that point,
you're so emotional. You're
exhausted.
I mean, it comes with that. I mean, you can't really work on consistently for days without resting.
Edward, my goodness,
that was work for you guys.
I would work for 3 weeks, no off, not a single day.
And people are not really appreciative. They don't see the effort that goes behind everything else.
Because Nina, all y'all know how to do a shout, ne?
Yeah. I know, it's customers. People just feel entitled. But in terms of the growth within your industry, because again, Mina, there's always a the parallel thing with industry. IT is just like, this industry is growing rapidly. I feel as if your industry is growing. Yeah. There's a lot of competition. How do you stand out?
First and foremost, already in J, this culinary is competitive. This culinary industry is very competitive. Because I'm not a competitive person. I just do me. Like, you do you're doing it at your own pace. I'm happy for you. You know, I'm doing me. But there was someone that used to always compete with me.
Specifically
From
the same school.
Yes.
Oh, damn, right.
Specifically me. And I never used to understand, and then I brought it up the one time. Like, I don't understand why people are competing with me when I'm not competing with anybody. When I'm doing my best. Then one of the other girls were like, no, this industry is very competitive, and if you are not competitive, you're gonna fall behind. That's mean I'd rather fall behind than be competitive, because I will never be in that space ever. And it is very competitive, because not looking at the restaurants that we know, obviously now we're talking about like above 5-star, the high tops. You want those, you want to be recognized, you want to be trusted, and building trust means more business.
Oh, because you're recognized by a lot of people, so they come there for your food specifically.
They come there for your food specifically. So it's very competitive. We're now fighting with another restaurant, so on and so forth. But that is what it comes in with. That's just how it is. I guess all industries are like that.
I guess, but like for your industry, I feel as if like regardless, you always come out last.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say I know, because I always shy away from competitive things anyway. Yes, I'm aware that they're there.
Yeah, I mean,
but I don't interact with them. I don't even put myself in a situation to be competitive, because I don't want that. So then I wouldn't know even if you come out lost, because that make it. And another thing is, again, starting your own business. Let's say you're going into a baking business, and then there's another baker
right next to.
Exactly.
I was gonna talk about literally that next. Like even with your industry, even with the culinary industry and stuff like that, even with basics like I'm a fried deluxe.
That is competitive.
It's competitive.
I'm a queen, yeah.
But it's like people are not as creative anymore.
Exactly.
Like, how do you again stand out in that standpoint? Everyone else is doing something similar. How do you make yourself like
stand out?
Yeah.
I mean, first and foremost, I always say, abantu abamnyama, black people, and this mentality of not liking to try new things is another way that's going to not allow someone to stand out, because you want to make something that someone can buy. And if they are used to scones and biscuits, you're obviously going to make that. But for me, I always say, you know what, just go for it. Do whatever you're doing and just see how it is. If they like it, they're going to continuously buy it. And it's a buyers. They're going to try it. If they try it, if they don't, go to another market, go to another place, go to people that are going to try your stuff. Don't give up, because you, at the end of the day, you want to stand out. And I learned that with the bakery that I was working at Bella's Patisserie. We were the only ones selling Italian desserts. So cannolis.
Tiramisu and all that.
No, we didn't actually have tiramisu, but we had cannolis from. So the owner basically worked with Upari. I don't know if you know who Upari is.
Buddy, Valestro. Yes. Is it? But they have Valestro.
So she was in one of his bakeries, and she obviously learned a lot of Italian desserts. Wabuya now. And at first, you know what? She did mention Wuti starting off with something that no one knows, cannolis, lobster tails. What is that?
Lobster tails.
Exactly. But it's such an amazing pastry. So she was like, no, Yenanjane. She carried on pushing and pushing. And then from baking at home for a Saturday market, she opened up an everyday business.
Wow.
And people love cannolis. Abantu that were from the market actually followed her back to her business where she opened, because they wanted. So Mina, I always say, you always find your target market. Just continue with what you're doing. You will always find your target market, because and I hate saying this, because it's as if Mina, I am going against my own as black people, but at the end of the day, we are so focused on one thing. We hate trying new things, and it really irritates me.
Exactly. That's me, literally. Because when you talk about circus, I was like, so whenever I go there, it's like, hey, can I just please have a bag?
Like, and that's another thing. It's a burger. There is so much in the menu itself. Now, I think for me, one thing I am truly blessed about is that I have cousins and family who are willing to try new restaurants. We do not go to the same restaurant twice.
Damn.
Tina. I've never been to one of those restaurants twice.
Yes.
So my cousin Jay would take us.
Yeah.
Recently went to Zai. I never knew where
Yeah.
Zai was. What Zai
Where is
was?
Zai, by the way?
It's in Florida.
I don't.
Then for my dinner, you know, when I was going to Qatar, we went to Duka. I've never been to Duka. I don't know what Duka is. Then in December, we were just trying out new things. We went to Hussein's. We went. So Nje, I think for me, I am truly blessed to have really a family who wants to try out new food and new places. And now, when we get there, you don't get us ordering burgers.
Guys, I want to order my
and fish and chips.
Like, what would you suggest, or like beside the serious conversation? Let's say now, whatever. What's there to order for each day?
Zai, you know what? Zai has a lot of homely foods. So you find that, like, even their portion size is freaking big. For me, Zai, I actually forgot what I ordered. But my cousin ordered an oxtail mash. Obviously, she just likes oxtail. Wherever she can get oxtail, she'll get it. But my twin, who I was with, she had like this chicken thing, Jay, that we didn't even know what it was. We didn't understand what was going on, but it looked so nice and it tasted very nice. And then I think I had like a steak, but the sides were very different to what I was used to. I didn't order fries and whatever.
And salad. Hey guys,
so you go to these places and you order different things, because even in December when we went to a Hussein's, I was like, you know what, I actually really do want to try more of that part of a surf and turf, whereby it's a steak and fish on the sides, like exactly. So I was like, no, I'm gonna order that. So my starter was like calamari and my sausage. I forgot what those sausages are. And then my main was prawns and steak.
Hey yo!
So
did you even finish that?
I did.
Oh, shout out!
And my dessert, I was very disappointed. But okay, I think that's just being the chef that I am. I critique everything.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
I think chefs usually have that problem.
But Nje, all of us on the table, we ordered things that we've never ate before.
Nice, but this sabu, what you always fear as a black person.
That's the thing.
Money, bro. I'm not gonna spend
on something that's not nice.
Exactly.
No, but like you just have to go with your guts. Now I read, ask. Don't be afraid to ask. What is this? What is it? Because that's another thing. You'll just order something that's fancy, and it comes and it's ugly.
And then you're like, hey, I wasted money.
Yeah.
But again, moving now in terms of entrepreneurship, like we've spoken about your background in the culinary field, your experiences. Now we're moving on to entrepreneurship and the overall like landscape in South Africa. Do South African people have money for food? In particular,
you know what? For me, I always say that people don't stop eating, but luxuries are getting expensive, and I honestly put eating out as part of a luxury. So in South Africa, KZN in particular, you find that a lot of places are so quiet. People do not have money
to go. I mean, prices are ridiculous.
Are ridiculous, but then at the same time, if ingredients are getting expensive, you need to match that when you are selling.
You
need to match that. Yes, you need to match that and make profit. So
and pay salaries
and pay your suppliers. You pay your waiters. You pay everybody that. So honestly, I don't think we do have money for luxuries, and I'm gonna say luxuries because luxuries come with a lot of things, and I'm honestly gonna put eating out as part of a luxury. Get depend. Yes, people go out on that weekend for fun, but during the week it's so quiet. And Mina, who worked in Florida, I used to see Florida is a busy street. Apparently.
Hey.
Davenport is also a busy street.
Yeah, I've seen the nightlife. Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. It's a nightlife. During the day, it is so dead.
I've never even been there.
It is so quiet. To prove a point, no one goes there during the day.
Hey Tina, guys, Tina.
And a lot of us operate during the day. I'm working at a restaurant, but I'm leaving my restaurant to go buy food at KFC or McDonald's.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel as if, we've been indoctrinated with Leontole, just like that's the simplest way to go.
And
that's
it's
affordable.
Cheap.
Affordable. So in terms of like now we're saying it's not really affordable to have like a restaurant nowadays.
Yeah.
How do people in the culinary field, so fundile and how do they now make money? How do you transition to entrepreneurship that can actually, surpass your salary?
I honestly think starting your own business will always work, because once you have your target market and once you know what you want to make and you stick to it, it's always easy, nje, because you'll keep getting people buying. Obviously people are going to reference you to other people, and Mina, I've always said I don't want to get into the catering business. I don't like people. I've always said I do not like people.
You know, people can handle that thing for you. You can hire someone to handle that thing.
No,
for you,
I don't want to. Mina, I like actually being involved, but I don't like people, so I cannot go into catering.
That's gonna be a shortened clip. I don't like people.
And I sound mean, but it's just I think my experiences in the past with people hasn't been good, and I mean I'm a very sensitive person, so you can't do such and say things. But in J, like doing your own things, finding, you know, like being a private chef, finding someone who, or making meal preps for someone, or abajimayo, or people that are sick, or working alongside a hospital. Toluwuti, this patient is coming out. This is what they can and cannot eat. They need someone who can cook for them and give them ideas on what to eat, etc., etc. So if you want to obviously start your own thing, you will make it happen in any way. You will go to hospitals and be like, this is what I do, this is how long I've been in the industry, can I work alongside you guys with the patients that are coming out?
But you need connects, Leon, because
you do need connects. You
can't necessarily just say, I just want to jump into it. You
do need connections, and if you have good connections, you make it far. And unfortunately, the sad thing is, without connections, and this is in every industry, not in just hospitality and culinary, this is in entertainment, this is in music, this is in every single thing. If you do not have connections, it's very rare for you to make it,
unless it's like something that is categorized as like high value or denzim or whatever. But again, even in those spaces, like right now, and I'm with being finished with school and stuff like that, it's not as easy to get into the industry because people gatekeep.
Exactly.
And does it happen in again with people like gatekeep, like gatekeeping on bed?
For me personally, you know what, I mean, I don't do what other people do.
Sponsor.
You know what, I mean, I don't do what people do. I hate gatekeeping because, you know, now where Osebenza you went and you looked around and someone was like, okay, try here, but obviously people are shit.
Hey.
And Mina, I'm very blunt, Shame, and I'm very sorry if this is gonna come out to people and as if I'm a horrible person. I'm not horrible. I am very blunt, and I say it how it is. People are shit.
True.
People are very greedy. So if they feel like their business is making them money, they are going to gatekeep that, because why would they want to share something that's making them money? Now they have to split it with someone else. Exactly. But Mina, I don't gatekeep. But there is obviously gatekeeping, and I think that's just in every industry. I don't think it's just in, obviously, once again, Tina, Soda. But in Abantu are different. Some people are very nice and they help you. And like, for example, my school, my principal, like the owner of the school, is a very well-known person. And so when he sees you exceeding and trying and working hard, we have pushed to other places. I went to a competition in Boli.
Yo, you also I think you were also in that France thing a while ago.
So he doesn't gatekeep, but then at the same time he wants someone also who's going to be there, aligning with him as well. Like if you're working, now he's going to obviously help you. So when I went to that competition, it wasn't even, I don't even know what that was, but it wasn't like it wasn't a proper competition. It was more of a inspirational workshop kind of thing, and then you just get to know each other, game.
But it's still big though.
It is big because there were huge chefs, and then obviously a lot of people won't understand, but like when I see a chef, you know, I get all jitty. Like, oh my goodness, how is he here?
It's someone that you always looked up to and stuff.
So that's another thing, being in a space where there are chefs from France, from Germany, from South Africa. He was in he was a winner of Prime Master. So and then there's an I forgot what it's called.
That's insane, bro.
But in the Chefs Association, whatever. Our president came even for a whole speech. So being in that space of, yes, I didn't get to go to France, but one of the chefs was like, if you cannot find a job, tell your lecturer. He will let me know. I will take you in.
Yo, yeah.
So being in that space,
it opened a lot for you. Yo.
And it's a huge thing. And my lecturer, Shem, I'm not gonna lie, he is very much a person who, if he sees you working, every single opportunity, you'll be the first one. The very first competition I was supposed to go to, I was so scared I declined it.
Oh, why?
Because I'm not a competitive person, and I do get very anxious.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
So yes, I can handle pressure well, but I do get anxious very well. So I decided, okay, fine, I'm going to go to the second competition. After that, there was another one, but then obviously we had to go to Qatar. So now it's like, what am I doing? Which one am I taking, Qatar or this competition?
Yes, I figure how did we make it to Qatar? Everybody wants to know that. Like, everybody wants to know. Everybody and their mom and their dad and their dog and their cats. No, not in a bad way, ne? Like, we are so proud of you. Like, I always tell you, I'm mad proud of you for that.
Thank you.
Like, how did that opportunity come about, and like, how did it feel when you got the news? And
you know what, for both the competition and the Qatar thing, I was in Port Edward for my 6 months.
Okay.
So actually at school, a lot of people at school had known about it.
Oh, okay.
And then I was still in Port Edward, obviously oblivious of what's happening. I think it was some students from school coming to do their in-service. So they were asking me, have you got your things ready for your, you know what, there's this FIFA thing going. So I heard obviously like the news and the stories and whatnot. So I went and I asked another student at school, that's okay, can you please let me know what's going on? Have you sent this in? Because obviously now the hotel is getting involved. We are sending stuff through, they need to sign, they need to, so
it's
now
a big thing.
Yeah, it's a huge thing, and we're part of in-service, so we can't just up and leave. So then Gambo was out, like, what's going on? Then he was like, no, I'll find out from you at school. Only to find out they actually forgot that I was out in-service. And I was part of the list who was supposed to be the people.
How do they forget? How do they forget? I don't bamba someone by the neck. It
is what it is, I guess. Because honestly, like, I you've been gone for so long. I actually even forgot, but you were part of the people in the list that we were supposed to send applications to, so that you are part of the interview. So then that's okay, fine, can you send it to me? And I only had literally that day to fill it in. It was due the next day. I had to come back home because my interview was the following week. And then I obviously had to finish working at Port Edward.
Before you went there?
Yeah. Now everything's cut short. Interview, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So there's no point in me coming back for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I just went home. Then the interview happened. It wasn't even really like an interview, because it was like, once again, my lecturer. My lecturer, I don't know how to stress this. He knows our industry is so small. So if you know someone, they all know you. If you do something good, they know. If you do something bad, they know. So he is well known. And so they spoke with another chef from Germany. He's catering for this company called the Kofla company. They've always been catering for like basketball, Olympic games, exactly. So now they are bringing the opportunity down to South Africa. And in South Africa, they're only going to interview 3 provinces, which is Joburg, Cape Town, Durban. And at the time, there was a specific number.
Exactly, I was going to ask about that too.
There was a specific number. In Joburg, the epicenter is at one school, and it's not just one school, it's all culinary schools coming. So there's over 1,000 interviews in Joburg. In Durban, there was over 700 of us. In Cape Town, there was also another 700. And at the time, they only said they're picking 90 people.
What are they searching for, though? Like, so many people.
Obviously, I think finding out now, it was more about experience.
Oh, okay.
Experience more than anything.
So it helped you with Sebenzi.
I was glad I did all of my practicals. And then, because the last year was supposed to be my last year.
Oh, okay.
So all of my practicals were done. So when they came and they asked me, I said everything. Even the little... I worked for this long. I go back the paper here, like... So then, at first it was 90 people for the specific company. So Toluguti, then they got my email wrong. So I didn't know that I was accepted. Saying people are knowing, people are finding out. I don't know.
No.
Then I was like, please, can they recheck? Because my lecturer gave me, I'm not going to say I'm his favorite, but once again, we work well together.
You grind hard, so he puts that extra effort for you.
So he kept asking me, did you get your email? Did you get your email? Then I was like, Chef, Aiko. Then he was like, no, I'll find out for you. Then he comes back, he was like, no, you were supposed to get it because you are going. And I'm like,
I would have been in tears,
goodness.
bro. I would have been like, bro.
I was so sick when I found out. I was so sick. The day I found out, I was so sick. I didn't even go to church that day. I was so.
You're like.
I was sick. That whole week. My parents weren't even home. They had gone to Bergville, so it was just me and my brother. I was sick at home. So I just texted my dad, guess what, by the way.
It's weird how we do that, like, as black people.
Yeah, like, guess what, by the way, I got in. Yeah. He got excited, called me, and my head is spinning. I can't.
Just on a race, dog. I just on a race, dog. So good how you come back. Yo.
I was like, just... So then obviously now everyone's excited. In WC Hambit, I told my dad. In WC Hambit to all of my aunts.
Come on.
They are calling me. Guys, I am so sick. I couldn't even get excited, I'm not gonna lie. But then after that, it was just obviously getting things ready.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, yo. Okay. Yeah.
Vele for the France thing, I had been told, get your passport ready for that thing, just in case, you know. So I had my passport ready. Now it was visa things. Obviously they did it on their side. Now it's time to go, and my visa still hasn't been.
They haven't released it as yet.
Exactly, if I'm approved or not. The week when we were supposed to leave, I didn't go. I left the week after. So everyone from my school, everyone that I knew went. Stress, anxiety. I never left my room for a whole week.
I can understand. I mean, everyone is there now. What if like the opportunity is there now and it doesn't materialize?
Mind you, says Tenge, everything.
Dang.
I had packed my bag pillar for that day because the lady, Qatar, was like, no. You know, they can even send it to you at the airport. Pack your things. And so I was like, my dad was like, no, but just wait. I wouldn't get it that day, nor the following day, nor the day after that, so a whole week, I'm at home, the other people are already in Qatar.
Like, aren't you stressing and calling these people?
I wasn't that's the thing. I didn't do the visa. They did it for us.
Oh, they did it for you guys. Yes. So they sorted everything out, literally. Hey guys, I won't so that was a good experience. You get there.
Yeah, I got there.
And you see stars, man. When you went to soccer before Qatar?
You know what? I always laugh when soccer comes on because of the competitiveness between my dad and my brother. But especially South African soccer, I don't watch. I would have my days where I'm like, okay, maybe I'm bored. Let me go see what they're fighting about, because you hear screaming, and so I would obviously just go peep through.
Your brother's probably a Man City fan. They can't get it.
So what happened? I think I don't know. But they lost 7-0.
Oh wait, it's Manchester United. Yeah. Rest.
So no. Sorry for staring at my phone. I just kept on. So but like, oh god damn. Obviously now it's a different country.
Yeah. Arabs.
Gashisa. Yeah. Oh my god.
I remember you said on your status, what the flip is happening there?
Especially because I had a 13-hour layover in Turkey, and Turkey, it was fucking freezing cold. Then the airplanes are also cold. Then you step out, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's 26 degrees.
26 is like by midday or like 11, 10ish ganja. Or sometimes
yes,
depends.
It's like midday, 11, 10.
But born, they're having that in the morning.
2 in the morning. We stepped out of the aircon. I thought I was going to die. I literally was so flustered. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna survive.
Dang.
And I got really sick, when I got there, because Zimbabwe needs like days to adjust. So I got very, very sick. But it's scary. Now it's time to work.
That whole bass thing, right?
People were like, oh my goodness, your voice is so nice.
Yeah.
My voice is gone.
Jeez. Nah, it happens. I mean, it's a good experience. You've learned, you've met stars.
I met stars.
What is the biggest takeaway from the Qatar experience?
Honestly, I can't say it was an experience, because I didn't learn anything. I wasn't in the kitchen. I was in the suites with the guests. Because I had 2 sets of guests. I had the royal family of Qatar.
Oh, Shatangangani, I pay.
I'm on phone, but I'm kidding. So for one stadium, I had the king, and then I also had the FIFA. So like I was juggling between 2 suites at one stadium, and then on the other stadium I had the princesses and their kids. So yeah, it was with the royal family. There's not much you can do really, because the king, you're not allowed to see him. The prince is so paranoid someone's gonna shoot him, so Mongena, you walk in slowly, he mustn't see you, etc. But I ended up seeing the king and the prince and whatever. I wasn't allowed to, but it just happened. Where we were, it was so strict because there's 5 suites, the VVIP. So there's 5 suites in the VVIP, 3 royal family, 2 FIFA. There's 5 people for those suites.
Dang, like people working.
No, like suites. Part of us. Yeah. Only 5. No one else was allowed. We would get scanned. Like other people would get like patted down, whatever, normal stuff. But say you were allowed. We weren't allowed runners to come in. So you can imagine running all the way for food just to come back, because my security don't allow anybody else but these specific 5
these
people
that are authorized to work.
Exactly. Now it's a lounge. I'm not authorized to go to the lounge. The lounge has everyone. David Beckham, Ronaldo.
Yo, I was like casually she's saying with David Beckham, like casually like post a no Ronaldo. I'm like, as I'll be freaking, I'll be like, dog, are you actually real? Like, are you real?
You know what? Kind of it was an experience. Like, I feel like one thing I can take away from it is learning how to work with such high class people, how to act around those people. You can't be fangirling, fanboying. And that's the thing, you need to be so professional. You need to be so professional because a manager we both had the same picture, not necessarily the same picture, but with the same person. And I even remember what happened. Like, I was in the suites with these, I don't know if it was Portugal playing, but Ronaldo, the Brazil, was obviously coming to watch. He came in my suite, I'm just there minding my own business. Who's this person? I'm minding my own business. So then you guys should say about Quebec, they take pictures, they talk, and I'm standing there. I'm very professional, okay? Even with Nomza Mumbato, when I saw him at Port Edward, I'm very professional. I don't want to be all up in your face.
Nomza Mumbato.
Yes.
Oh, you saw that one too?
Yeah, Ushaga, the thing. They were shooting it there, and then she was obviously in our hotel. So I was very like professional, and I'm like, nope.
It's gonna freak out.
I was like, they did, and for me, it's like, let them eat, let them relax. Now, but they're at a hotel, they need to relax. So same thing with the Qatar thing. When I saw Ronaldo, I was thinking these are his friends. You know what? I'm not gonna be there. And the worst thing is that my supervisor came running asking for a picture. So I was thinking, oh my goodness, the professionalism. I don't know what's going on. Then Ronaldo said, Puma, he looked at me and he was like, would you like a picture? So I was like, okay, you know what? Yes.
Of course.
No, Plangmas at the time. So I was like, yeah, okay, of course, yes, please. And then we took a picture. Wapuma, I can see my supervisor's losing it. Because he's like, oh my goodness, Ronaldo, I sent it to my brother. I'm like, who's this? I don't know who this is. He just asked if I can take a picture with him, whatever, if I would like a picture with him. My brother's like, pay.
That's the Ronaldo.
That's an ex-player. That's a
legend.
So now I'm like thinking to myself, oh goodness, mina ang nagil. So then that same day, I kept maintaining professionalism, and I always stood by the fact that he was the one that offered for me too. Because my manager that came in and wanted to take a picture, he ended up getting escorted. Next minute you're seeing him flying home because we were told be professional. This is not about fangirling, fanboying, whatever. But
we had to work and grind.
Unfortunately, when I saw Tiger Drogba.
You're low key like yo.
He looked at me.
You're like low key,
No wait. first and foremost, we were sitting in the obviously the princesses thing. So I'm seeing the princesses losing their shirts as well. They kept pointing, oh my goodness, there's tiger. So it's in tiger nangu. Nangu with
right
Georgina.
Which one is Georgina now?
Ronaldo's baby mama. Oh yeah, she was also in my suite. Oh, okay. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna lose it too.
So then, Shuti Hugh was her guest in their suites. And then I remember even sneaking through, going to just like get a video or whatever. And Nangambela also hula by my door, and we were waiting outside. And me being me, I waved. And he will literally look at the camera and wave back, and I'm like, guys, he wants me.
That's my guy. I was saying that like that. That's my guy right there, right?
He wants me. What else do you want? Like, I'm ready to be married. But like, obviously, you know, at the same time, we obviously freaked out. Oh my goodness! Even in the camera, he turned around, he waved, did his thing or whatnot. But I actually did meet a lot because I met Ferdinand Drogba. I was with Georgina's in the suite where the day Ronaldo lost, it was such an emotional day in the suite. Oh my goodness. Ronaldo Jr. was crying. Georgina was so upset. But even before the game ended, to go down to the change rooms and obviously see Ronaldo, because now Ronaldo was crying. So it was very difficult. And then I saw Trevor Noah, David Beckham. Then I
Trevor.
Okay, who else did I see? And obviously, on the field, you can see Neymar's there. You can see Messi's there. You can see Mbappe. Mbappe's father was in one of my friend's suites. He was there as well, and so there was a lot. That was an experience. It was nice, but culinary wise, I did not come back with anything besides just being a professional person. But it just does add to your resume. So my CV looks good, guys.
Yeah. Good leg. Something will come up definitely. TK. In closing, the last question that I have for you.
God, yes.
Legacy.
Oh God.
What is the one thing that you'd say after everything, after we've done everything, after we've lived, after we've bought the cars and the family and the houses and everything else, what do you wanna, leave behind? This is up here,
I mean, because I'm not a materialistic person, I feel like it's the way that I am and how I treat people. I think that's one thing I always want people to remember. Yes, I know some people are like, oh my goodness, I paid, this person has done you wrong and so many times, but the fact that I constantly give you chances, even if you're a friend or a family member, you would sit there thinking, oh my goodness, I pay, who would have understood, gave me another chance, understood, helped me, gave me another chance. And I feel like that's what I really want to leave behind, the way that I treat people. I mean, I don't treat people like shits. I think
I can feel it.
Like even the fact that if you're gonna treat me badly, I will never give you that energy back, because my energy is pure. So I'm not gonna tit for tat. I don't have the energy for that.
You have nothing to lose in terms of like,
I don't have time for that. I don't have the energy for that. So my energy is pure. So that's what I'll always give out. And that's how I always want people to receive it. Yes, I'm very honest and blunt, but it's all coming from a good place. Something. And one thing about me as well is that if I care about you, the truth will hurt so badly. The truth will hurt so badly. But yes, but you know what? At the end of the day, I love you. You are my friend, you are my person. This is how things are supposed to be. What you did was wrong. What you did or how you did it or whatever is not good. Change here, change this. So that's what I want to leave with people. This is how I treat people. This is me. Like, and I'm a bubbly person all rounder. Yeah. And so you do me wrong, okay? Yeah, because I can't always be friendly and giving you thousands of chances,
No, that's true. But this was such a cool conversation to have.
It was nice. Thank you for having me.
Yo, thank you for coming through. This is episode number 16.
Yes.
Quite cool. Jeez. So thank you so much for coming up here. Hopefully you've learned a thing or two. I've learned a lot from you.
I hope people have learned a lot.
Yeah, even for the people wanting to go into industry, for the people, like even relationships, personalities, experiences. Thank you. From me, and Pay, and whatever we have here. It's been a dope episode. See you next time.
Thank you.